Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest White Pod. I'm Stephen Bland, your host. I'm with Wytlabs, an internet marketing agency that specializes in e-commerce. Today, I have Joy as our guest. Joy, feel free to introduce yourself and tell us about your background.
Hi, my name is Joy Orenick, and I'm the founder and CEO of MARION, and we're a high-end maternity workwear brand that is really focused on sustainability and also just really exists to empower women who become pregnant and are nursing while they're professionals and still need to look like professionals and therefore just need to be able to access garments that are made for the work that they do. Because of that, like I would say the vast majority of our clients are lawyers and congresswomen and executives and that kind of thing. And the brand just really came to existence because I personally was working as a professional when I became pregnant for the first time and was pretty startled that there was such a small amount of maternity workwear on the market and almost nothing that existed that was made for women who were in more formal positions. And so since the world has changed so much and women don't, we just don't leave our jobs when we become pregnant, it seemed like a strange thing and definitely something that created a lot more professional challenges than I thought were necessary um, transitioning into motherhood. So I had been a longtime teacher and school principal and left that to start Marion with absolutely no fashion experience and just learning the industry and just figuring out what was needed and trying to make it happen. So it's been almost 2 years since we've started, and it's been a pretty cool adventure so far.
Awesome. Is it only maternity for maternity
Maternity and
clothes for
nursing.
women?
Yeah, and nursing.
Nursing, awesome. When did you start the brand?
We launched officially April 2022.
Awesome. So almost 2 years. So tell me more about the brand. Your target audience is obviously women. It's considered a
Mhm.
premium brand, correct?
Yes.
What makes you different than your competitors?
I think really just the fact that maternity workwear or workwear for women who are professionals, especially in occupations that are more formal and require more of a corporate dress code, just doesn't really exist to speak of. Lots of the big brands will carry, a nice pair of dress pants sometimes or a button-up shirt and that kind of thing, but it's not something that is as a big feature of most of the maternity brands, which is so interesting given that it's like 140 million women a year get pregnant, and a larger and larger percentage of women who are professionals continue to stay in their same occupation after they become moms. We're as women, rise higher in the professional world, most of us need better clothes to continue to look just like our professional selves while we're continuing to work. And so the lack of that was actually really shocking to me. And it was only through my own personal experience that I realized that that was kind of a major gap in the fashion market. And it's honestly really the only reason that we can succeed because the ocean is entirely blue, or has been, where this little niche has been concerned. And so we've been really lucky to have we have like an absurd number of like Harvard law grads who get pregnant and buy from us. And I'm just like
Wow.
those kind of women who are super, super badass, super powerful, and just need to like keep wearing a suit, which is pretty fun.
That's awesome. I love it. So what are your best selling products?
Maternity pencil skirt. We have a skirt
Okay.
suit that sells all the time. In fact, one of our biggest stressors with the maternity suit that we have is just like keeping it in stock, which is kind of a great problem to have. We sell a lot of kind of the workwear dresses, and especially ones that have nursing access that is hidden because um, until you've been pregnant and nursing, you don't realize that like pumping or nursing at work means like basically getting completely naked in your office when there's not like kind of gizmos to allow you to do that. So I don't know if you had planned to talk about breast milk this much today, but but it's like
No,
you
I mean
just there's
I
certain
have a
just
2-year-old, so I just I
okay.
have
So
a
you're
2-year-old daughter, so I watch my wife go through it. So yes, I know what you're
yeah,
saying. I have some,
yeah, you're
not
breast
not
milk
myself, but
educated.
I've seen
Yeah,
it. Yes,
not
exactly.
personally. Yeah, I mean, it's things that you would never think about. And I was an educator for like 15 or 16 years before I became a mom. So it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, why has nobody addressed this? Because it's a huge industry. I mean, the maternity industry itself the value of it has increased by billions in the past few years now that it's kind of become a fashion place as well as just a place where you go to buy things that are like required. I mean, Hatch has done a great job of making maternity fashionable, and A lot of the pregnant celebrities are
Uh-huh.
making it really cool to actually invest in your maternity wardrobe. And so the fact that that piece has just kind of still remained, um, I guess, untouched was a little bit surprising, but good for us.
Definitely, definitely. So what
And
are some
congrats on your
activities you're
2-year-old.
doing to
Life is
promote the
busy.
business? Exactly.
Right now we're just, man, it's funny. Like you kind of hit one hill and then you go to the next. We just signed on as with Nordstrom, which was really exciting, and our product
Perfect. That was my
line just
next
kind of got
question.
the like,
Detail.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's been like in the past couple months, that's been like all of my time has been focused on, learning what EDI is and how to use it and how to get set up with all the different requirements. And they're the big boys, so they get to tell us exactly how they want things, which is great. And so the like everything will go up on their website here in the next week or so. Then after that, I think that's really kind of the next frontier is, we have great reviews, we have great customer relationships. I think our quality is really what sets us apart. And so on a small scale, just through e-commerce and some smaller like drop shipping and wholesaling, we've been doing well, but it's very small
Hmm.
scale. And so getting to break into that marketplace with, Nordstrom and some of those other retailers where we're going from like hundreds of views a day to millions is kind of, awesome. So I think the next thing is, I really want Bloomingdale's and Saks and Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman and all of the higher end maternity or higher end department stores that have a reputation for exceptional quality are really where we want to be. I mean, we're hugely focused on like our sustainable Italian suiting fabrics and just really luxury tencels and things that are both eco-friendly but also just gloriously luxurious. And we are a higher price brand, and I think we back that up with some excellent products. So I think that kind of marketplace is where we fit in really well, and frankly, where there's just not a lot of options for women who have the need for a good suit.
Or where can we buy
Okay.
from your website at this point? What is your website?
My website is marionmaternity.com, and that's where we do all of our e-commerce for the most part. And then we do have other retail partners online, like Figure Eight Moms and One Hot Mama and a few other places like that drop ship. Milk and Baby is another big nursing retailer that we drop ship for. And then we're also in a few brick and mortars around the country, like Nest Maternity in San Francisco. We have some retail partners in Texas and in North Carolina and that kind of stuff. So we're kind of spread around and just kind of, I think we're building as we go. Nice pace, but definitely want to, I think, increase that.
Awesome. That's great. What is your future plan?
Get in with every big retailer there is.
I thought
And,
you might say that.
I think, yeah, it's kind of the thing to do, I think. But I think beyond that, I think the focusing really narrowly on the niche of workwear has been a good plan because frankly, that's really the only place that we can compete because that's the only place without competition that can just financially crush us. But over time, I would like to expand a bit more into some other parts of maternity fashion and even like postpartum, just like really high quality, sustainable, just like mom clothes, I guess. Um,
Mhm.
but really continue with our focus on sustainability. We do partner with Ocean Co right now, and so for every piece of like every style that a customer purchases, at this point, we pay Ocean Co's partners for the removal of a kilogram of ocean-bound plastic in the world's most polluted waterways. They have a whole map, and it's a really cool system actually. And so that's equivalent to about 88 plastic bottles. So if a customer buys 4 pieces from us, it's 88 times 4. So we really want to continue to work with like very well vetted, reputable companies like that and try to make an impact with what we're doing. I'd eventually like
That's
to
awesome.
offer some lower priced products as well. I think the sustainability piece and the fact that we only manufacture with ethical factories makes being super 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 low price kind of impossible. But I think we'd like to be a little bit more accessible price wise at some point and maybe have like a label that's maybe more mid-range than priced just for professionals who aren't necessarily holding Harvard law degrees.
Gotcha. Are you ever gonna dabble in baby clothes?
No.
No.
I think there's plenty of
Figure
plenty of options out there for that. Yeah,
I know. I had to ask. Kind of goes hand in hand. Figured I'd ask. All good.
totally.
All right,
I'm
Joy.
obsessed with finding the blue markets now. Yeah.
That's great. Is there anything else that you want our audience to know about you and your brand?
Hmm. I think really just kind of goes back to like I feel fortunate to be in an industry where we get to do something good that I think is really important. And as a woman who has been, like the only high school principal in a district or the only whatever, you kind of as a woman, even in 2024, you still feel sometimes some pressure to prove that you belong in the room, even if your numbers are great, and even if if it were a faceless game, you wouldn't feel that same pressure. And I think when you get pregnant, the pressure goes up exponentially because there's this kind of unspoken thing like, oh, are you really that committed, or are you going to stick around, or are we going to have to pick
Yeah.
up the slack while you're on maternity leave? And it feels crappy. And so I think the idea of just getting to support other women who are amazing and doing great work and feeling like a little bit better about all of that when you're already having like the hardest time of your life feels really good. And so I just hope that we get an opportunity to continue to do that and hopefully level the playing field as much as as much as we can do with our own little contribution.
That is amazing to hear. Joy, I appreciate you coming on and thank you for your time today.
Thank you. It was so nice to talk to you, Stephen.